All rise. During our invitation today, take the nom.
Father, I ask that tonight that your spirit, wisdom, revelation, and knowledge, they may govern on your behalf, as they have been appointed for this time, for this place, by your spirit, by your will. I pray that God, that their minds would be filled full of thoughtfulness for this community and for its people, and that they would govern with honor and love in mind in all that they do. I thank you for them, each and every one. I ask your blessing upon them as they carry out the arduous task of city governance. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Nathan. All right. We have a quorum and on to you.
First item we have on the agenda tonight is consideration of the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Excuse me, we do need to do a roll call just for official purposes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Let's do a roll call.
Thank you.
Yes.
Cotter.
Here.
Morrow.
Here.
Mason.
Here.
Topper.
Present. Now we're good.
Now we'll have the
Okay, now we have a
consideration of the
quorum
consent
and agenda.
Yeah. Okay. I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second. All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. There we go. We approve.
Reading of the bills. Bill 4688 to become Ordinance 4688, second reading. An ordinance of the City of West Plains, Missouri to amend Chapter 28, Section 28-4, interfering with arrest, Section 28-5, false impersonation, Section 28-119, stealing, Chapter 44, Section 44-4, display of state license plate, Section 44-8, clinging to moving vehicles, and Section 44-89, riding on motorcycles.
Make a motion to approve Bill 4688 to become Ordinance 4688, second reading.
Yes, Chief.
Council, good evening. These 6 ordinances are just catching up with state statute changes. I highlighted the areas in the memos that I gave each of you to show the changes. So there's nothing different than what I said last time.
Was there any public input for the month? Okay.
No.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Any other discussion? Tanya?
Bill 4688 to become Ordinance 4688, second reading. Neese.
Yes.
Cotter.
Yes.
Morrow.
Yes.
Mason.
Yes.
Topper.
Yes.
Bill 4689 to become Ordinance 4689, first reading. An ordinance to authorize the mayor to execute a municipal agreement between the City of West Plains, Missouri and the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission, providing for the pavement, cold milling, and resurfacing of Route Business 63.
Make a motion Bill 4689 to become Ordinance 4689, first reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Sam, you have something?
I'll take this
Okay.
presentation this evening, Mayor. Good evening to everyone. This bill authorizes council to sign a municipal agreement with Missouri Department of Transportation. Since they are going to be doing the work on their roadway, there are no city funds put towards this project. However, they do, as part of their normal operations, they do like to enter into municipal agreements with cities for work that they're going to do within those jurisdictions. So work basically entails cold milling and resurfacing of about 1 3/4 inch, 2 inches of asphalt from the exit of Highway 63 under the overpass here in front of City Hall, and then south on Business 63 until you get to Broadway. And then they're going to jaunt left a little and then do a little bit of work on that stretch. They anticipate work to be completed during next construction season. So it's not this year, but next. Happy to answer any questions.
I've noticed that there's been new painting on that strip. We do that, or is that?
Nope, that's a MoDOT project as well.
Cut that up?
Yep. Mhm.
It is next year before they do it, so.
Mhm.
So all right, Tanya?
Bill 4689 to become ordinance 4689, first reading. Neese,
Yes.
Cotter,
Yes.
Merle,
Yes.
Neeson,
Yes.
Toplitt.
Yes.
Bill 1143 to become Resolution 1143, a resolution authorizing the West Plains Civic Center Director and the West Plains Tourism Coordinator to negotiate and sign agreements for entertainment and talent acts on behalf of the city of West Plains.
Make a motion, Bill 1143 to become Resolution 1143.
Second.
Todd?
Council. So state will allow our Civic Center Director, also our Tourism Coordinator, to be able to negotiate and possibly sign talent and entertainment agreements that would benefit the Tourism Department, the Civic Center, and also the City of West Plains. With funding now available through the hotel motel tax increase, we do have opportunities, we feel like, in the future to be able to attract those significant events and acts. That hotel motel tax is really designed and earmarked for tourism and economic development. This resolution would give Aaron and Melissa the ability to be able to negotiate, possibly sign some of these acts that frankly in the past we haven't felt like we have an opportunity to attract. So again, upon the approval, we will revise their job descriptions to reflect that ability.
Any profits, from these events and everything, does that roll back into the tourism tax?
The profits from the event,
Yeah.
well, I mean, it would go to support the city as a whole, the city of
Okay.
West Plains, but also the tourism development, all the departments in the city.
Okay.
Also, obviously, with bringing in entertainment acts, something that would benefit the community. You're talking impact to hotels,
Oh, yeah.
restaurants, etc.
Some of the funds would go back to maintaining the Civic Center itself, or wherever that venue is going to be.
That's correct.
Okay.
Basically, these type of acts, if they're significant and if we feel like it's something that can benefit the community, obviously the Civic Center is going to benefit the tourism department and the city as a whole.
Right.
Also, too, just to let you guys know that a lot of these acts, these opportunities, they present themselves at the last minute. They present themselves with pretty much no notice. So again, as budget would allow, and as these opportunities present themselves, it just gives us the flexibility to enter into these agreements.
Yeah, I know I've been contacted like through an organization that I'm at, that, when they're driving through, they're like, oh, we could stop here and do an overnight show or something like that. And that's what we're,
Correct. And
Hopefully,
with our proximity between, let's say, Memphis and Kansas City, or
Mhm.
Memphis and Springfield, those opportunities do happen at times, and we just want to give them the flexibility to be able to take advantage of that.
so. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. All right.
Next item on the agenda is council action. Jeff Shipley.
Hi, Jeff.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have a few items to bring before you this evening. The first two bid items are both for a distribution line that will go from the airport substation to the solar farm. So both items are for that project. The first bid item I have is assorted hardline material or poline material for that project. It is rather extensive list of hardware. Is the reason why we didn't list them all out. But I did have three bidders. I had Harry Cooper, Gray Bar, and Fletcher Reinhardt for those bids. I have a low bid from Fletcher Reinhardt at $38,988.14. In Jeff's summary, he has 150,000 earmarked for that, and that 150,000 is for this bid and the next bid that I will be presenting. So
I would make a motion that we approve the bid of Fletcher Reinhardt of Bridgeton, Missouri for $38,988.14 for assorted solar farm electric line hardware for the solar farm distribution line.
Second.
Any more discussion?
Yeah, I got a question. What resources do you want to pay for that? Is that solar farm? Is that FG paying for that?
no, the city will be paying for that. That is out of Jeff's poles, towers, and fixtures. It is a line item that he has. He has budgeted out of that, and it's the city expense.
We knew that when the solar farm was being built,
Yes.
we knew we would want to incur
Yes, we did.
That is part of the agreement that we entered into with Evergy. That is one of the components that we had to fund for the solar farm.
So there were various items that were identified, and this was one of them was the electric line to get out there to it. So
No other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next item is the utility poles for that power line. And I have 3 bidders. I have Baldwin Pole, Scylla Jones, and Tech Line from Little Rock. Baldwin Pole has the low bid there of $26,043.
Make a motion that we approve the bid of Baldwin Pole of Pittsburgh, Kansas for $26,043 for wooden utility poles for power line from the solar farm to airport substation.
Second.
Any more discussion? Taking a hit on some polls this week, haven't we?
Yeah. Yeah, we may need more than what we.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, next item, this is for 2 generator kits with transfer switches. If approved, this would be to place a new unit at Cass Avenue Well and Oregon Street Well. This is obviously for backup power. Power goes out, we can still generate water or pump water. Jeff does have $135,000 earmarked for these generators. I did send this out to actually 4 contractors, one of them being local. He couldn't do it because he doesn't deal with diesel fuel generators. So, and then I had a contractor in Benton, Arkansas that declined the bid. But we did advertise this in our local newspaper and on our website. So we did put it out there. But of the 2 bids that I got, Smith and Edwards from Mountain Grove has the low bid for both units at $102,900.
Make a motion, we approve the bid of Smith and Edwards of Mountain Grove, Missouri for $102,900 for new standby generators and transfer switches for the Wells Department.
Second.
I see this one, a 1956 Cat.
That's correct.
So I'd say we got our money's worth out
Yep.
of that one.
Yeah, they are very, very old units, and it's I think time to probably replace those.
Yeah.
We tried to trade them in, they didn't want them.
Well, maybe have you checked into like a museum.
Well,
piece
that's
or
what I told them.
something?
I said you
They're
could start you a
classics.
museum.
Yeah.
We'll provide the first piece, but they didn't want
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the last item I have is for a compact track loader for the transportation department. This is so they can provide creek maintenance, bush hog the creeks, clean the creeks, things of that nature. Brian does have $140,000 budgeted for this. Now I will also be back or plan to be back next month for a utility tractor also, and that's what the remaining money will be for on this 140,000 for that tractor. So that's why he had that much in there. But as you can see, I've got 5 local bidders or somewhat local bidders. The low bid that I have is Edsler and Harper on a Kubota SVL 97 at a total bid of $65,137.
Make a motion, we approve the bid of Edsler and Harper of West Plains, Missouri for $65,137 for compact track loader for the transportation department. Second.
Any discussion?
What's the maintenance or warranty, any kind of warranties come along with that?
An exact warning, I believe it's 3 years, Johnny, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I can give you that information afterwards if you need that, but I can't tell you exactly now. But it's
That should be in the bid.
yes, it is in the brochure document. Yep.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's the item.
Not me.
Okay.
Good evening. So, the InfoSend, is, would allow us to have our utility bills done by a third party. We did some research, to see, and we've talked to several different cities, that are using this company. One of the things, as you know, we have Encode, so we want to make sure it would loop with them okay, and they have about 50 cities that use Encode, and they don't have any issues. What this would look like, right now, currently, we use the little cards. The post office hates those. And they get in their machine, they get torn up a lot because they don't go through their machines correctly. So when we would do this bill, it would come out as a full sheet of paper. We can design it however we want it to look. So like if we wanted to have graphs, like say for the last year, somebody's electric and water on there, we could do that. And we have a back and a front page. So like if on the back page, if we wanted to put like all of our city buildings, phone numbers, or, anything like that, we would be able to put any kind of information on there. On the front of it, there's also a little space that we would like to leave for like PR information. If it's election day coming up, we could put on there, hey, don't forget to, election coming up on such and such day, or city offices will be closed Thursday and Friday for Thanksgiving, or, we can change, put our trash schedule on there if it needs, if it's changing, or and you can change that every month if you wanted to. There's a lot of different PR things that this would be able to use. We currently send out about 7,100 bills, and then we do between 600 and 800 cutoff notices. We would send a file to them. They would produce the bills, send them out. They also send them with a return envelope with our information on it. The cost is 13 cents a piece is basically what it amounts to. And I don't know exactly what all you guys have in front of you, but the total, we figured out kind of what it would cost us for the year, and we would need to add about 12,000 to our postage budget to cover that. We obviously have money in there now for postage, but they will get on their postage, they get even a lower rate than what we do. But the 13 cents would be for the additional envelope, the 2 envelopes, the printing and then sending them out. One of the reasons that we looked at this is during COVID, these have to go out. You can't not. They have to. The nice part about this is Roger could build the file and send it to them And he could do this by himself, even if the girls weren't able to be in the office. So he, we could send that file on the 20th, and then they would send it out when we tell them to. The other piece of that is we can pick and choose if there's others that we don't like. All of our city offices, we won't have them mail. We'll flag those to just come to us, so we don't pay postage and that kind of thing on them. The other thing that kind of prompted this is with the changing of personnel, the AMI building the metering into the system to get them on the electric and the water meters. That was being done by Melanie. And when she left, we shifted it back to the utility side. And so Anita and Lori have learned to do that, but this would free them up like one whole day to be able. Those are really time consuming, and they have to be like, they can't do it while they're waiting the counter. So like one of them would need to be at the desk and inputting those, and then someone else working the counter. But this would allow some additional time for them, because when they bill, it takes all three of them to bill, because they have to sort them by zip codes, and there's a lot of different things they have to do to them. So this would save us. I think we would end up being more efficient and save us time, even though it is going to cost us a little extra money. So, any questions?
Will the savings on manpower cover the cost of additional postage?
Not total, but it'll be close.
Yeah, it's hard to put a value on the efficiency part of it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you take those three people's wages and just use one day a month that we would save, it would be pretty close, Johnny. We wouldn't cover it completely, but we'd get close.
Can people from their home access their billing to see, for budgeting purposes, for those who do the budget? Can they see like a 6-month cost where they know these savings, they won't have?
Well, that
utilities
would be my suggestion, as far as what we, somewhere on that bill, I would put a graph, and I would put, if they have electric and water, I would put that for the last 12 months, so that people can see how to budget in the winter or budget in the summer. The other piece of that is sometimes we get people who will have a leak, like a water leak, and they don't realize it for 2 or 3 months. Well, if we put that graph on there, they're gonna see it quicker when they see that go. Because you just pay it and you don't really look at it that close maybe. And so with the graph on there, they'll be able to see if their water went up. Oh, what did I do last month? Or whatever. It
It's
might
not
be.
the city's responsibility to call the customer.
No,
on the
it's
bill.
not. No. And we make one adjustment. So like if they let it go for 3 or 4 months, we only got 1 month that we can adjust. So, and of course, Roger, he'll try to adjust whichever one's the highest, for them,
Does our software not have the option for electronic statements where they could just be mailed out?
No.
Quite a cost savings to everybody.
Yeah.
Especially when you pay by graph.
Yeah.
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 Right. I mean, there's,
A lot of
Now,
people still don't have computers.
I bet of
Johnny-
those 7,100, most of them do.
to your question, as far as
They don't
could
have a
they
smartphone.
access it? I don't know that that's a question that we covered. We had a virtual meeting with them, so they showed us, how to create our bills and all that. I don't know that that's a question we ask, but it is something we can ask. But I don't remember them telling us they could access it electronically. I don't think.
Presumed purposes. I don't believe you can, because that's Encode, and we're talking about a completely different system with this mailing out the bills. So your question is an Encode question that we would have to go back to Encode and ask. but I'm pretty sure the question's been asked before and it was no.
Yeah, I know Encode you can't access them. Now, whether, like I said, whether this independent company you could access, I can't answer that. But I can find out.
And there's a setup fee to go along with that as well. Is that just a one time or is that?
That's a one-time. Yeah, and this is not it's not, we're gonna do this next month. The guy, when we met with him or when we did the visit with him, 16 weeks is about what they take to get us set up. Of course, we'll have to design what we want ours to look like. And, we'll bring that all to you guys so you can see it, look at it, make suggestions on what you think should be on there, shouldn't be on there. And of course, we can do it color, we can pick colors, do we do our logo? I mean, there's just a lot of things to be decided before we actually do this. And then, of course, the implementation process. Our goal by bringing it to council tonight, and then, of course, again, next month, we have to do it again twice. Is that right? So when we would like to see if we can have it in place by October, November, before we go into the holiday season. Because as you know, Thanksgiving always falls or normally falls right when we're supposed to be billing. So, we kind of like to get it where maybe through the holidays we could be using that.
The only question I had gotten about this was to make sure that if people still had an issue with their bill, they were calling the city. It wasn't calling the company
No,
out in
absolutely.
California.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All they're doing is, purchasing the paper for us, sending them out and taking them to the post office. And I did ask, would there be a delay in will people get them as quickly? And they assured us that they would, that there shouldn't be a time frame as far as the limit. But yeah, if they have any questions or if they look at their graph and they have a leak or whatever, then they're still going to deal with us.
Did we reach out? This is my last question, I promise. Did we reach out to the cities in Missouri that I saw on the
We did,
reference
every
list?
one
Did
of
they
them.
have any concerns? with
No,
them?
matter of fact, I believe it's Macon that said that they had went to them in 2018. They also use Tyler Technologies, and they said to get anything fixed or changed that may arise prior to us sending our customers their monthly statements. They just said they didn't have any issues. Nixa, we reached out to Nixa, we reached out to Maryville. I believe Maryville is the one that Roger said, the gal said, if we'd have known, we'd have done this 5 years before we did it, because she just said that it just went real smooth. So, our biggest concern was to make sure that it would work with our Encode system and that we didn't put ourselves out there to have to buy some other type of software also. So.
I do notice that Maryville has email e-billing listed as one of the InfoSend products. So I don't know what the cost
And that,
difference is there. but
again, that may be something that they,
they're certainly not paying postage. so-
Yeah. Like I said, it may be something that's possible, and if it is, we can do that and without any issues. Or maybe it works with the Tyler system good enough that they can send them back here and then they can get into our, we email it that way. That's not a question we asked, so I'll have to do some more discovery on that.
Is this anything we need to just vote on?
Well, I was just going to make a slight correction. I mean, with a vote this evening, you wouldn't have to vote on it again next month. So this would be
Okay.
approving the bid, and we could just go ahead and sign the agreement. and
We
get
had a
going.
little meeting faux pas there. We discussed before we had a motion.
Nope, we're fine.
Well, it is a bid.
This
That's a
is-
good
yeah.
thing. So
Yeah, I would entertain a motion though.
I move we accept the bid.
second.
Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
And I will find out about the email part of it,
Yeah, that,
and I'll let you know.
and run that through IT now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Final item on the agenda is the administrator's report.
Thank you. I asked Sherry to present that item for you because it was sort of the one of the last pieces of her work under her interim finance director title. She oversees or oversaw the utility billing division. Would like to introduce Earlene Rich, our new finance director. So sort of a figurative passing of the baton. You will start to see her whenever we have finance related items for presentation to council. So just wanted to welcome Earlene to the team, to the city. Good luck with finding a house. Yep, but
I think I
That's
may
right.
know where one's going to be opening up.
there we go. That's the benefit of a small community is everybody knows who's going to be selling and when. So you're getting plugged in. A couple of updates regarding the community for you. Aldi approached us with a store remodel. They're going to be adding about 2,500 square feet to their store. They are doing some work right now, but they will require a complete shutdown of their store for a couple of weeks. So they are tentatively planning that for late September through mid-October. So just for all the Aldi customers out there, put that on your calendar and shop somewhere else for a couple of weeks. Later this week at the Civic Center, we will be hosting a job fair, and I believe that is from 2 to 6 p.m. on Thursday. Erin is nodding her head. So in conjunction with David Bossmeyer and the Chamber of Commerce, the EDC, they saw an opportunity to reach out to citizens through companies. I think they're close to, if not over 500 jobs that they're anticipating being available at the job center. So please encourage people you're talking to attend that event if they're looking for work or if they're looking for perhaps more money. So, and that's all I have for you on project updates.
We have the COVID vaccine incentive.
We do. We have, as everybody is aware, if you've been paying any attention to the media or to social media, I would not advise people to get their news from social media, but on the same note, there is an increase in cases that we are seeing, not just in Howell County, but pretty much throughout the state of Missouri. And in response to that, I had reached out to some other municipalities to see what they were doing to encourage their employees to receive a vaccination. And so far, Joplin and Springfield were the two communities in Missouri that have offered an incentive program. And so our program would model theirs. Essentially, if somebody has been vaccinated or if they would like to get vaccinated, it's a voluntary program. We would offer employees a gift card as well as a day off with pay if they choose to get vaccinated. Again, it's completely voluntary, but we had seen some success with the two communities that have rolled that program out. And just for the safety and health and wellness of our employees, we wanted to give that opportunity to them as well. A lot of our employees are on the fence, should they, shouldn't they? And so my hope is this incentive will push them off the fence and help them land on the maybe we should consider one. Obviously, we would not mandate it, and we would encourage all of our employees to reach out to their health providers to figure out if the vaccination is right for them and for their families. But we figured this offer would be a good opportunity to see if people would take it up. So, happy to answer any questions.
On that item, that's more or less just a consensus from us. I mean, it's
Yeah, I mean, so it really, the only potential budget impact would be on the gift card side. And we have funds through employee development and HR and through risk management to be able to cover the cost of that. And it's assuming 100% of our employees were to get vaccinated or, take advantage of the incentive program, that's about $6,000. So it's not that great of an expense. The other cost, so to speak, would be, the lost time for employees who are out because they cannot, work because they or a family member have come down with the illness. And so
I have no objections to the voluntary vaccine initiative program. Does anyone have a issue?
No, I don't have an issue.
Okay.
A question I have is for the ones that choose to get the vaccine or the incentive, what's the opposite? Those that have gotten it choose to continue not to be vaccinated.
I mean, we are having conversations about potential masking requirements while at work. We're not quite there yet. I'd like to focus on the positive. I'm a bit of an optimist, so if we can get people to voluntarily sign up for the incentive, then that's what we would encourage to do. But we need to keep monitoring the cases. I think last week we had 10 employees that had tested positive. So our numbers are ticking up along with everyone else in Howell County. So we're keeping an eye on those. If it gets more serious, we'll need to have that conversation about, what we as an organization do for our employees. But, I would certainly not advocate, community, events like we've had in the past.
All right, that's a move ahead, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. That's all I have for you this evening.
All right, any other business? If none appearing, God bless.